This lesson video will guide you in how to create in-text citations for your essay for your English 6 class. Before we talk about citing sources, I want to make sure you understand how sources are connected to your essay. For this writing unit, you will have several sources from the research you've collected. From these sources, you will find textual evidence that supports the position you're taking on the essay topic. When you put textual evidence in your writing, you need to cite, you need to tell where you found the information. Whenever you're writing an essay, there's one very important step that must be followed: citing sources. Citing sources means telling your reader the sources you used for your writing. You must give credit to the owner of the information that you use in your essay, otherwise it is plagiarism. To plagiarize means you're presenting something as your idea instead of information from an existing source. There are 3 types of in-text citations. You will cite these sources within your text, your essay, and in the Works Cited page at the end of your essay. On the Works Cited page, you provide more complete information about your source. In-text citations, and notice that abbreviation ITC, you'll see it throughout this unit. In-text citations are required for textual evidence in your essay, whether it's a direct quotation, paraphrased wording, or a summary. The next few slides teach you the guidelines for these 3 types of in-text citations you may use for this essay. You do not just drop evidence into a text, but you introduce it and then comment on it. So whenever you have evidence, you will have introductory comments first, then the evidence with the in-text citation, and then your analysis or commentary. If you use the exact same words from the author or from one of the characters as they appear in the story or the article, you must put quotation marks around the words. You place quotation marks around the quote, but before you put the end punctuation, you put the in-text citation. The end mark goes after the ending parentheses. Here's a model. You would put your quote in the quotation marks. Then you have the author's last name and the page or paragraph number. That's the in-text citation. Then the end mark. If the author's name is provided in the introductory comments that lead to the evidence, you do not have to repeat that name in the in-text citation. Here's a model. According to Sergeant Smith, there's the quote, so you just need the paragraph number or the page number for the in-text citation, and notice where the end mark is. If the author is quoting another expert in the article, the ITC includes QTD in the citation. QTD stands for quoted in. Here's a model. There's the quote. There's the in-text citation. It was quoted in the author's last name and the paragraph or page number. There's the end mark. If there's no author, the ITC contains the first main word of the title in quotation marks along with the paragraph or page number. Model, quote, in-text citation, and the end mark. Here are some models to show you what they may look like in writing. Texting while driving has become a greater hazard than drinking and driving among teenagers who openly acknowledge sending and reading text messages while behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. There's the quote. Notice the quotation marks taken directly from the author. There's the in-text citation. When behind the wheel, concentration and focus needs to be about driving, not about texting. This was quoted in this author's article, paragraph 20. That's the in-text citation. Addiction to the smartphone has many unintended consequences. That's a quote taken from an article with the first word of the article and the paragraph number. There was no author identified. There's the in-text citation. Moving on to paraphrasing. You paraphrase information if you put the information from the source that you want to use as evidence into your own words. That means you should not use all of the same words, but should express the same idea in your own words. Now, sometimes that's difficult because there is technical language where one thing means one thing, but you just need to use your best judgment when you're paraphrasing. Even though you're using your own words, you're still borrowing the idea, and therefore you must cite the information with an in-text citation. Here's the model. You have paraphrased information. There's your in-text citation, the author's last name, paragraph number, page number, and there's the end mark. Here's a model for paraphrasing. This is a paraphrase. When insurance companies have to pay out for accidents, they charge more money to owners of their insurance. And it was taken from this article. You see the name and that paragraph number. There's paraphrase. There's the in-text citation. Now let's look at the exact quote that the writer paraphrased. Here's the exact quote. Every time someone slams their car into a tree while tweeting their friends about the bad day they had at work, an insurance company has to pay. If an insurance company has to pay, they pass that loss on to all their members, thereby raising rates ever so slightly. And then you can see where that came from. Summarizing. You summarize information from a source when you take the ideas from the source and you reduce them to fewer words by focusing on just the important points. A paraphrase presents the original information in about the same number of words or sometimes more words than the original, but a summary is definitely shorter than the original text. For example, you might summarize in your own words in one paragraph an article that is a page or longer. As a writer, you must make it clear to your reader when you're presenting a summary, and then you must cite your information. Here's the model. You put in your summary, and then the author's last name with the page numbers. That's the in-text citation. There's the end mark. Here's an example. Students often overuse quotations when taking notes, and as a result, they overuse quotations in the final paper. Probably only about 10% of your final manuscript should appear as directly quoted matter. Therefore, you should strive to limit the amount of exact transcribing of source materials when taking notes. Here is a possible summary. Students should take just a few notes in direct quotations from sources to help minimize the amount of quoted material in a research paper. And you can see there's the in-text citation and the end mark. Your assignment. For this step, you're going to be practicing this skill using sources for your essay. You're going to be doing this over and over again, and hopefully you'll become proficient and understand how to create the different types of in-text citations. As you find textual evidence to support your reasons, examples, you will be placing that information in charts as either quotes or paraphrases, and you'll be properly citing the source. Complete instructions and more resources for this assignment are in the course itself, and your teacher is available should you have any extra questions.